Freedom family. This is a really casual video, unscripted and whatnot, and it's mostly an update on what I'm doing, but also, you know, what's happening with RDA. It's been kind of confusing. I've been traveling Europe, I'm now in Australia, I'm going to the USA. What's the point? What's the future? I finished my book, that's happening. I've got court cases coming up, I've got other things like that, and I just thought I'd put it all in a video. It might go for like 6 or 7 minutes, but you know, if you're interested in me, if you're interested in RDA, if you're interested in where to next, then this video is for you. And if not, then you should probably just turn it off. But anyway, for those of you who don't know, I started an organisation called Reignite Democracy Australia about 3 years ago now. And you know, the services that we were doing during COVID aren't needed anymore. So basically, I have force shut down the donations that we were getting. They were coming in every week, and thank you everyone for your support, but I just didn't feel like I was contributing anything for that, to justify those donations. So I've stopped all of those. Now the website and the organisation, the business name, I'm going to keep all of that, so that if, you know, digital IDs are trying to be pushed in, or other things come up, you know, climate change lockdowns or 15-minute cities or whatever, I can pick back right up where I started with RDA. And what's next for me, I just want to explain to you a little bit about how I've evolved and been able to focus on my next mission. Now, with Reignite Democracy Australia, there was a time there where I had 12 staff, and it was like really intense. We were doing a lot of different things, free legal advice. We had a lot of stuff going on. To be honest, that was never my dream. I'm not a CEO. I'm not a good boss. I'm not even a good manager, to be honest. I'm actually better on my own, working on my own. But you know, I was thrusted into that, and I wasn't planning that. And to be honest, I made so many mistakes. Thanks for everyone who stood by me during those mistakes. I could have done things a lot differently. And because of some of those mistakes, I guess that's one of the reasons why it's not around anymore. But the main reason is because the services aren't needed. But you know, I did that. It was great while it lasted. But now I had to evolve into what I actually want to do. And I didn't really know what that was. But traveling Europe has really given me a huge opportunity to self-reflect and to evolve and to figure out what's next for me, what I actually enjoy doing, as opposed to what is needed, because it was needed then and I responded to that call. But you know, there's so many different things that us as human beings can do. It doesn't mean that we should all do them, and we should focus on what we enjoy, but also what our skills are, so that we can use the right amount of energy for things and let other people who have skills in other areas focus on those areas. So it's really important to choose our lanes in some respect. Not saying that you can't deviate from it, but it is important to reflect on what you should and can do is two different things. What I've realized is that, one, I hate managing people. It's not I'm too blunt. I'm too short with my words, and I just expect people to just like get things that make sense to me, but might not make sense to someone else. And I'm just not good at explaining things or training people at all. So I've realized that I like spending time with community groups. I don't even really like networking with people. When I say I don't like, I just mean it's not my focus. It's to network with people who have platforms or organizations or things like that. For me, I would much prefer to have an intimate lunch with 5 people than to meet with someone with a platform with millions of followers. You know what I mean? Like, I get so much energy out of people on the ground who have done things, who have stories, who are just real people. I get a lot of inspiration from everyday people who have tried different things or have different insights on things that I wouldn't know about because I'm not in their lives. And I always walk away from those events feeling fulfilled, like energy-wise, and just like my soul kind of thing. And before I went to Europe, I didn't feel comfortable speaking for long periods of time. I had only ever really done like 5-minute protest speeches, which are like, yeah, rah, rah, you know, and you promise things that you're not sure if you can deliver. And I'm sick of that, to be honest. I'm now more comfortable to speak for half an hour. I've got enough content to keep people engaged, and I've had good feedback. So I have a bit more confidence to actually, you know, have an event with just me, for example. And it's really helped me to go through Europe. I've had 23 events, I think, in all different cultures. Some of them had to be translated and things like that. And I didn't have one negative comment or feedback. And I I mean, not everyone would have the guts to say something negative to you anyway, but I was pleased with how it went, is my point. And so I'm also really excited now to do a similar thing throughout Australia. But what I have differently in Australia is I have the book now, and there's some topics in there that are going to evolve my talking points. It's, you know, I think COVID is, look, it made us who we are today in many ways, and it gave me a voice. I won't deny that. But I think, you know, we need to move past it as well, and find different ways to connect with people and to keep communities together. And I've also realized that I'm a community groups person. I'm all about keeping people together, trying to avoid division, finding ways to market events that do bring people together. I'm not a historian, I'm not a researcher, I'm not necessarily that good with my words all the time, but like, I'm optimistic, and I can make people see the silver linings in bad situations, and I think that's my skill. And I'm ridiculously optimistic, which is either my biggest skill or my biggest downfall. I guess we'll find out later. But what I've realized, like I said, and I just repeating myself just once more, is I love spending time with people on the ground. So when I do tours around Australia, for example, don't be afraid to invite me to an event with 10 people. I will come. I will come into your lounge room with 5 people. I don't care. To me, it's fun. I don't need to get paid. I don't need anything like that. Like, I just want to connect, like, intimately with as many people as I possibly can. And that means sitting down on the couch, having a cup of coffee, having a cup of tea, and just getting to know each other. Because if I meet 100 people like that, I'm telling you for sure, someone's going to say something really remarkable to me that could change my life, and it could change a potential campaign as well in the future. And what I'm doing immediately next is I'm going to America for 3 weeks. I've got 4 events from Georgia to Texas, which is a lot of driving. My dad's coming with me. I'm going to a Children's Health Defence Conference. I'm speaking there. I'm hoping to get some big interviews to help with marketing my book, because I'm not selling my book on Amazon and I'm self-published. So it's a lot harder for me to market my book as opposed to doing it in those channels. So I'm going there for 3 weeks, but then I'm coming back in December, and I am heading down to Melbourne, and I'll do some events there in January and February. And then my plan is to go across to Perth, and in between my drive, people need to invite me to events. Invite me to your lounge room, invite me to an event with 100 people, 50 people, 10 people, I don't really care. There's going to be a form on my website under monicasmith.com/tour. You'll be able to fill in the form if you want to invite me to something. Just fill in the form, we'll email back and forth, and let's see if it can work out. You'll be able to see my map of where I'm going, so you can guess which date would work the best based on other events. Like, don't ask me to come to an event that's clearly, 20 hours drive away from another event the day before. Like, obviously be scrupulous, figure out, look at the dates, look at the map, and be like, oh, it would make sense that she'd be able to come here at this time, whatever. So have a look at that, and I will be coming in my van. So I'm like the best guest ever because I sleep in my van. It's self-sustainable. It's got toilet and shower and stuff like that. So I don't really need anything. And compared to my Europe traveling, which was in a minivan with no toilet or anything like that, this is like luxury. I can't wait. So the point is, late December, January in Melbourne, then February, Adelaide, and maybe March, Perth. And then I'll come back to Brisbane and whatever. And in terms of the court cases, so look, I have 2 court cases at the moment. 31st of October 2020 was when I got arrested 3 times in one day. We're working on that. But of course, we've got the 22 days in prison one, which is the biggest one. And this case isn't just about me, of course. A lot of people donated to this case, so I feel a civic duty to do a really good job. And we're not going after the person you think. And we're using my story to create a really good case, because you have to have damages, you have to have suffering and obvious, like, to make it as good as a case as possible. So just so you know, that is still happening. So if you donated to my legal fund, of course you helped me fight the warrant and other things, but the fruits of your donations have not even been shown yet. So just hold on, it's coming, I promise. So yeah, in short, RDA subscriptions have been halted. Don't expect anything from RDA, from the RDA brand. I'm not stopping. I've just evolved and changed what I'm doing. And number 3 is the court cases are still coming up. And thank you everyone for your support. so far, and for giving me the space to go to Europe and do the things that I did to evolve into, you know, my next mission, which is connecting with people on a personal level, and using some of the new talking points from my book. Yeah, so it's going to be exciting. It's not just going to be an event about my book, okay? I have other plans to make it really beneficial for anyone who attends, and yeah, I just can't wait to connect with you guys. So that's an update. So it was 10 and a half minutes. There you go. For those of you who actually watched the whole thing, poor you, but thank you. Okay, see ya. Hey, turn off.